Okay, today we're gonna work on fractions, as it is something that, even though it is very simple, many high school students struggle to do without the use of a calculator, and there are many occasions in which a calculator may not be available to use. So, first, let's just focus on what fractions are. For example, let's say you have 1 over 2 or 1/2. The two most important parts to understand are simply that the number below, in this case 2, is called the denominator, while the number on top, in this case the 1, is called the numerator. So that's just the basic part to understand. Now, today we're going to focus on addition and subtraction, as the processes are very similar, really, and are very easy to understand. Let's say we have a fraction that is 3 over 4 plus 6 over 8. The first thing to understand is that fractions need to have the same denominator in order to be added or subtracted. And to do this, we need to find the least common multiple. In this case, we know that 4 times 2 is 8 and 8 times 1 is 8. So what would we need to do? 3 over 4 needs to be multiplied by 2, and 6 over 8 needs to be multiplied by 1. This would give us 6 over 8 plus 6 over 8. Now, what should we do after this? This gives us 12 over 8. Now that we have 12 over 8, there are two more very important steps. First, we need to simplify. So in order to do that, we need to divide both the denominator and the numerator until we get the least value possible. So we can either do it the easy way or the hard way. The easy way would be to go 2 by 2, meaning that we would divide by 2, which would initially give us 6 over 4, which we could divide by 2 again, and it would give us 3 over 2. The easier way is to just find the greater value, which in this case would be 4, and immediately we know that it is 3 over 2. And if we can go even one step further, with this 3 out of 2, we can create the proper fraction, as the numerator being bigger gives us an improper fraction. So here we can simply go equals 1 over 1/2. Since 2 already makes a whole, meaning that we have 1 and 1 left over, meaning we get 1 over 1/2 for our addition. Since we covered addition, we can now focus on subtraction, which is essentially just the same process, only reducing other than adding more. So let's say we have the example 5 over 6 minus 3 over 5. Again, just like in addition, we need to find the least common multiple between 5 and 6, which in this case, using basic multiplication, would be 30. So how do we get 30? We need to multiply both numbers. So in order to get 30 with 6, we need to multiply by 5. So we would have to go 5. And here, it would be by 6. This would give us 25 over 30 minus 18 over 30. Using the basic mathematical process, we can easily identify that this would give us 7 over 30. And this, since there's no way to simplify, this would be our final answer. This is a proper fraction since the numerator is greater than the denominator, and there is no need to simplify anymore, as 7 and 30 share no common factors.